up, everybody? I know it's a little loud here in the gym. It's Sunday though. It's loud because it's not very many people in here, so like the sound is like echoing throughout the gym. But anyways, I wanted to make a video. Today is Sunday, October 2nd. Typically on Sundays I don't work out. I tend to do more active rest days. But I missed my second leg day of the week and I ended up having 3 chest days because yesterday we went to our open gym session and did chest, obviously, chest and arms. So I missed my second leg day. So today I'm just going to do some squats. I know I'm going to do some back squats, possibly some deadlifts, and maybe throw in some leg presses, some heavy leg presses for my quads. I'm not going to front squat. I'm going to front squat actually on Wednesday. But I wanted to make this video to show you all a proper technique on the squat, like cues, things, because there's a lot of people that load up the weight and they're not functionally efficient with their squat. So what I want to do is talk about my tips on how to make your squat better, because my squat sucked last year. I even had people like making Instagram videos and stuff of like me, and I really researched squat technique, and I researched you know, all of these different things. End up getting some squat shoes. I got knee pads. I wear, you know, tighter pants, you know, more of leggings or jog or whatever, you know, like jogger jeans. I don't even know, like I wear all kind of different pants now, but they're all going to be like compression style, because keeping your knee warm, keep your legs warm during squat sessions is very, very important as well. So I'm going to talk about a few things during the squat, but I'm going to talk about the most important part of an efficient squat, and that is making sure you warm up correctly. As you see, I'm sitting down right now in the area that has like the foam roller and it has like the rack for stretching and things like that. And you can find me over here at the beginning of every session now. Especially being that I'm getting older, I want to make sure that I can perform at a high level when I'm in the gym. So stretching and making sure that you're taking care of your joints are, you know, drastically important. So what I like to do, especially before leg day, I really spend like a good 10 to 15 minutes stretching. And there are 2 things that people don't really talk about when it comes to squatting and making sure you have a good squat, and it's ankle mobility and hip mobility. So having your ankles nice and loose is going to ensure that you're not leaning forward on your squat, and it's really going to help you with the pressing movement whenever you're trying to push up from a squat. So that it takes, I know people say I can't squat because of my knees. Well, you shouldn't have to use your knees if your ankles were nice and loose. If they weren't as tight, because your ankle is a muscle as well. So making sure that your ankle is rolled out. I'll show you guys in a second some exercises for your ankle to make sure that your ankle is nice and loose. And then your hips, which is probably the most important part, because we walk around all of the time, and one thing that gets really tight and we don't even feel it because our body naturally adapts to it is your hips. I promise you, if you take your thumb and you like poke around your hip, like in here, if you just like press really hard and find areas, you're gonna find a whole bunch of knots. And it's just from how we sit, it's from how we walk, and it's from how we don't stretch out our hips adequately. And then your hips control pretty much the entire squat. It controls your depth, it controls how smooth the squat is, it controls how much pressure you're gonna put on your back and your knees. So having loose hips is another very, very important thing. So I tell people all the time, listen, if you want to increase your workouts, maximize your potential, and the guys that say they can't break parallel, listen, I'm 6'3" and I'm all legs and arms. I have to go a lot lower on my squats, and I can still, as I'll show you today, I can still get very, very low, even as I get into like 315 pounds. I can still get low on my squats, and like I got to the point to where now my mechanics are so tight to where I can't even stop, you know, above parallel without hurting my back. So, you know, my squat is designed for me to get low, and the lower you get, the more you're going to activate glutes and hamstrings. So that's what I'm really, really aiming to do. So with that being said, I'm going to show you guys a few things that I do to warm up my hips and my my ankles before I do this squat session. So I'm telling you, I know sometimes you have to be in the gym quick, but take 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes to stretch. It's going to A, make sure you have a better workout, but B, it's going to and probably more importantly, it's going to help you prevent injury. And you know, I know people want to be macho and say they didn't warm up and all of this crap, but listen, if you are that kind of person and you get injured, guess what? You can't work out for a long time. You're going to lose strength. So it's like restarting. So I've never had a significant gym injury. I've had basketball injuries that have inhibited to my gym performance, but I've never hurt myself lifting. And I lift pretty heavy, but I'm really big on mechanics. I'm really big on form. So I'll show you guys today a little bit of stuff that I'm doing to help before I get into the actual squat. Alright, so what I'm doing here, the first and foremost, roller or Lacoste ball better, but I really use the foam roller to really roll out the bottom of my feet and to rotate my ankle, to get my ankles ready, and it's almost like a getting your central nervous system ready to have pressure on your ankles. So I really like to do that. Then the next machine you're gonna see me doing, I'm really gonna just grab onto this rack right here, and I'm gonna go into the actual squat motion, and I'm going to make sure that my feet stay flat on the ground, because a lot of times their heels tend to come up off the ground, and if you're able to get in this position here, you're able to get really low on your squats. So make sure you do that. Then I'm going into a couple of other exercises you'll see here in a second of me opening up my hips from the inside, my inner thighs and my outer thighs. And then after I did these two exercises, or these two warm-ups, I actually went to the hip abductor and adductor machine, and I did about 3 sets of a good 12 reps, and that really gets my hips ready for the action that I'm about to be doing with the squats. And now when it comes to squatting, you'll see here in the next clip that I really focus on the mechanics. So I step back, and what I want to do is deep breath. I take in a lot of air right here. You see me, I'm completely set up before I get into my squats. 2-step, drop back, and then I'm looking forward to shooting my hips forward and then back. So my hips are the pendulum. So I'm looking to swing forward my hips, and I'm looking to keep my keep the bar, like I'm pulling the bar almost into my traps to keep everything as tight as possible. And I'm looking to keep my knees right over the toe. I don't want them going too far over my toe. I'm actually, when you squat down, the best thing to do is to squat and then have your toes kind of pointed outward, and have your knees follow the path of your toe. That way your knees are going out instead of forward. So as I increase the weight here, I'm really looking to keep the form the same. I'm looking to keep the breathing the same. I'm coming through and I'm shooting my hips forward, as you can always see. But one thing that always matters is your setup. Your setup is the most important. It's for balance. It's going to make sure that when you take the weight off, you're not crooked. You're drop back, making sure that you're not taking too many steps back. And then you're going and you're doing the same exact motion. For me, I'm 6'3" with really, really long legs, but I still squat with my feet very, very narrow. And that is because I want most of the tension to be on my quads and my hamstrings. So the closer your legs are together on a pressing movement like a squat or a leg press, the closer your legs together, the more you're going to target your quads. So I keep my legs relatively close together. Like if I wanted to do a lot of weight, yeah, I could open up and I can do a sumo squat, and I can do, a little bit more weight. But what you want to notice here is my mechanics are always the same. Here's 315 pounds. It's what I'm focusing on, being able to do this at strict form, but also getting depth as well with my legs close together. A lot of guys I see at the gym, they'll get their stance really, really wide, and it strengthens the bar path. But here I'm able to get parallel at, as tall as I am, and the form is still really, really sharp and really, really good. You see my toes are they come off the ground a little bit, which is what you want. And make sure that the pressure is on your heels. So as you can see, 315 was a little bit of, it just felt heavy as hell today. You guys gotta also realize I'm 6'3", I have long legs, so I have a long ways to come up. So it's like it's extremely a taxing workout whenever I do squats. It's a little bit harder for taller guys, but I'm still working on it. I got pretty good depth. I watched the video of that one. I got pretty good depth on it, but what you want to focus on truthfully is you breaking that parallel, and you see every single one of my sets was the same setup, except for the last 315, the step back was, you know, a 2-step, and then adjusting the feet, making sure that everything's even on the bar. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do a voice over of the sets. But right now, what I'm just gonna go do right now is I'm gonna go do some just some leg presses, just to give a little bit more stimulation in the leg. That squat and shit is taxing. So other than that, I should be good to go for today. But thanks for watching the tips, and I'll see you guys soon.